All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. Sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 183rd episode of the Drinking Partners Podcast. Yes, this pains me to say, but this is our Heath Miller episode. I don't like to highlight the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I will commend this man because like Heath Miller, we are very consistent. We do our fucking jobs. We deliver, and we put on for the city of Pittsburgh. And Day has on a Pittsburgh hat, and he's having an orgasm now because I said that. Like, he's super happy. But I gotta humble myself and say, hey, the city been showing me love, man. And Heath Miller, you know, he did his thing, and I feel like we doing our thing. You know what I mean? Like, we do our fucking thing.
We trying, man.
We be trying. No, it's been a good summer.
Oh, we did win another award.
We won another award, and we don't like to sound like dickheads when we say like, "Oh yeah, we won it." But it's not what we're focused on though. Like, we really are focused on promoting all the wonderful things that are happening in the city, promoting small business, promoting like circulating that dollar, man.
I mentioned that because I just want to thank all the people that voted. I mean, that was a voters,
and we didn't even ask you to.
Yeah, like you guys like showed up, and that's, you know, that's support to us, and we appreciate. We've been asking y'all for rates and reviews and like shots of Henny and whatnot, but like, you know, y'all gave us some votes.
Y'all gave us some votes.
Y'all got us in the building.
That's not to be lost in all of this. Like, we do appreciate that. And again, we're in this number 80 series, and 80, obviously, we're talking about a lot of receivers. And receivers, while they do shine on their own, they cannot do it without the quarterback.
There it is.
The city is the quarterback. They distribute the love. And you know what I mean? We take it to the end zone. I'm going to pause everything I just said. But I wouldn't be half of your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey, joined with my co-host Dave Bracey, without saying that pause. So Dave, say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, Facebook, and
Google Play, because we Googleable. And
well, shit, actually, you can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnerSpod, and you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Stitcher under Drinking Partners. We're on Spotify. Yeah, shit. It's 2 of 2, man.
It's 2 of 2.
It is 2 of 2, and we have sour Hennies out here.
We got the sour Henny, the blackest shit we've ever done.
Blackest shit we've ever done. So yeah,
we have to get a collaboration going. We're gonna call it the blackest shit we've ever done, and it has to, whatever font you use when you put it on the can, it has to read as the blackest shit we've ever done.
All caps, like
I
want an all white label with just all black, just the blackest shit we've ever done. The whole fucking can is just wrapped in that shit, because this is the blackest shit we've ever fucking done.
Oh, they should look. You got to buy the cans, but you have to dip the cans in black paint. And then do the letters in like red or some shit like that.
Like wax.
Gold, because I'm out. So do them in gold.
Gotta wax the can.
You gotta wax the can. The whole can gotta be black wax, because it's the blackest shit we've ever done. Like, I don't want motherfuckers to be able to find the spout. I want everything to be black. You gotta just find the spout on this motherfucker.
Truth. But if you're looking for us, we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and Spotify. Under Drinking Partners, 183 episodes we've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook. Shit, if you can hop on Spotify, man, I don't even know. I didn't even know we were on that bitch. But if you can, hop on Spotify, rate and review. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes. Rate and review.
Listen, you love us. You see us in public and you tell us that you love us. So please, at the click of a button, tell the internet, tell the world, tell them how great you think we are. Tell them the signal boost that we've become. Tell them that you can come to events like Fresh Place and have a dope fucking time with some dope fucking people. And as always, and this is 183 episodes in, you know what I mean? In lieu of rates and reviews, we do accept shots of Henny. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend. Shout out to all of our supporters for keeping the trend going. Shout out to our guests who come on and bring us Hennessy. Shout out to Dave Bracey for creating this sour Hennessy collabo.
Yo, shout out to Tamara for bringing this Henny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I told y'all last episode, and I meant it, man. You know what I mean, fuck all y'all motherfuckers that turned that shit off early because we was talking about the, you know what I mean, the period.
Running the red lights. Yeah, we talked about it.
We talk about about that shit. We had the period
Baby,
plug on.
it's yours. Oh, yours. Act like your girl ain't never gave you a red light special.
It's true, baby. Like, if he came through with the Henny.
Take a good look at it. Look at him now.
Is that what that shit was about, bro?
Oh, shit.
Was that what that shit was about, bro?
I just broke my headphones. I just broke my headphones for the first time.
What?
Nah, I just unplugged them. They caught on my shoe. My shoe's big as fuck. No, I never even thought of that.
Wow.
Damn.
Wow.
That's crazy. That you just changed history for me.
That's a special thing. You don't
You
get that
just
to everybody.
changed history for
You want it,
boy.
it's yours.
Damn.
All yours.
You know that's gonna make it to the
Wow.
stage. You know I gotta say that on stage now. I didn't even know. And they was under a red light. Would you run the red light under a red light?
TLC?
Day? Take a good look
TLC is red
at
lightable.
it. I don't know though.
TLC
'Cause
is red lightable.
I don't know.
They were
Well,
then.
yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna see how close we are. Who was your favorite out of TLC growing up?
Left Eye.
My nigga. Everybody was all on Chili. I was like, yo, it's something about that left eye chick. It's something about her.
But
Oh.
I always like girls with attitude. That was a thing. Yeah, I mean, it was always so.
It's just something about her.
Yeah, she would punch you. I mean,
Something
did she
little-
burn down Andre
She
Rison's?
burned his sneakers in his bathtub
Yeah.
in his mansion.
Yeah, like, yeah, I mean, she had spunk. Like, it was.
And this is before they could go through your phone.
you had to be a real detective.
Somebody left a voicemail, like in that Jackson 5 movie where the lady kept calling and let her ring twice.
She got Dirty Diana.
Yo, we
Said
get all
he's
off
not
track
coming
early.
back because he's sleeping with me.
Oh,
Dirty Diana.
Dirty Diana. Oh. That's my favorite Michael Jackson song.
Somebody came to Left Eye as a woman.
Yo, I'm so happy about this episode right now. I learned something. We done talked about two of my favorite songs in story because Red Light Special is my jam. Dirty Diana is also my fucking jam. That's where I felt like I knew Mike. I was like, oh, Mike was getting it. Mike was
that
getting
was like
some-
the real, like, it wasn't.
He was getting yams.
Yeah, he was like, bruh, this is the real shit.
No, he was getting yams on the side, and he was like, "Oh, okay, so he's really famous. Like he yamming it up. Like he's getting all them sweet potato yams."
Because he was talking, yeah, I mean, he had the R&B swag. He was talking about loving and this, that, and the other. But that was like a peek into like the rock star lifestyle. It was like, oh,
Because you got a peek of it with Billie Jean, some baby mama drama.
Yeah.
But then Dirty Diana was like the lady that she tried to bust the windows out his car, like that type of shit. I fucks with Mike for that. But look, if you do leave a review, we may read it on the podcast, much like this review here, titled "Where Have I Been?" By Briggy McKinney.
Briggy McKinney. He has a flannel.
Yeah, Briggy got a flannel. So it reads, after reading an article on NPR about you guys, I immediately downloaded your podcast. 187 episodes? Where have I been? You guys are so entertaining, funny, and you know your beer. I'm a 50-year-old suburban white lady from Reno, Nevada, who loves craft beer and humor. You guys are awesome. I'm so glad I've discovered your podcast. She put the peace sign up. It was the white people peace sign. It wasn't the black fingers, but that's cool. What? Her name is Rachel. She signed it Rachel. That is such a thank you, Rachel.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Damn.
But do you have 187 episodes?
We're on 183.
We on 183. We don't number a lot of them, and we've lost quite a few. So I mean, we probably on like 280.
Yeah, it's probably like 297,000. But thank you, Briggy or Rachel. I don't know which one you go by.
Whatever.
That was a very nice. That's dope. But that's what we try to bring to the table: entertainment, craft knowledge, signal boost.
When you can reach across, like,
She's in Nevada.
Yeah, I mean, 50-year-old white lady in Nevada, like, is fucking with us. That's kind of dope. Like,
Yeah, that's dope as hell.
baller. Shout out to Briggy.
Well, she didn't leave a phone number, so we can't call her.
I said it's baller.
She'll be at Fresh Fest next year.
I thought you said call her. I'm like, we ain't made it that far. Where they just
she'll be at Fresh Fest next year. You know what I mean? She'll be talking about this episode because I know she's gonna listen to it. She one of those. She's gonna catch up. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
listen, Rachel or Briggy, whatever you like to go by. If you want to catch us and you don't want to wait all the way to Fresh Fest, catch us at one of our live shows.
Yep.
We do each month. Every third Saturday of the month, we'll be at Arcade Comedy Theater. Every last Saturday of the month, we're at Comtra Theater out in Cranberry Township. As always, BYOB and free beer samples, free craft beer samples. We always have a craft beer sponsor.
Always
so
got
it's
craft beer.
And not or.
And free craft beer from Mindful Brewing, man. They've been fucking showing us love out there.
They've been a heaven sent.
Man, they brought that Peachy Keen last night. That is like a peach Berliner Weiss is what it is.
That was a Fresh Fest collabo.
Yeah, Fresh Fest collab. They had some of that. Man, I mean, it's nice. It's light. It's like a 4.2, 4.3. You know what I mean, very sessionable. They did a collaboration with Chef J. She paired some peach on like crackers with like pistachio
Can
dust.
We say Cleveland was in the building too. You know,
Bruh.
he tried to hide that. That's Cleveland. She went to. I think she on her joint say she went to John Hay or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
Cleveland in the building. We out here. We out here making noise, man.
Yeah,
Cleveland's
man.
out here, man.
Yeah, I mean, y'all definitely showed up for that, man.
We
Like,
more than just Bone Thugs and Harmony. Stop asking people for
y'all got
Cleveland.
Cuddy. Y'all got Cuddy. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I mean,
but people kind of don't know how they feel about Cuddy anymore.
Really?
Yeah, like people don't be talking a lot about Cuddy.
I don't
no
know,
more.
man.
He just did that album with Kanye.
He did the album with Kanye, but
I
here's
didn't
the thing,
listen to
man.
that,
Here's the thing, though, man. He's responsible for a lot more than he's actually on. You know what I mean? Like his whole like wave and vibe and like he's a hook like fucking like, you know what I mean? He's almost like I look at him more like a Nate Dogg type. You know what I mean? Like
Oh,
a
my
whole ass,
ladies, come step
Yeah.
once round my way. Love Shack Diesel, just like they love they mate. West Side connected, and we'll listen. If you can make a Shaq song swagged out, understand how powerful Nate Dogg's voice was. That was a
Bruh,
Shaquille O'Neal rap song.
bruh. And no matter what he was on, it was a hit. It was a hit.
No, but shout out to Chef J. Shout out, I mean, everybody who came to Fresh Fest.
Yeah, but
Shout
Mindful
out to
Brewing,
Mindful.
Mindful Brewing will be passing out free booze. If you don't like beer for some reason, you can bring your own booze, vodka, wine. You know what I mean? Like maybe you like that. I had some foul ass shit, Finette or some shit. It's like Campari with Listerine in it. It's fucking gross. It's for people that hate themselves. But bring that shit. Don't give me that shit, but bring that shit if you want. Because it's also BYOB. So we got Mindful and BYOB every third Saturday of the month down at Arcade Comedy Theater. You can get tickets at arcadecomedytheater.com and every last Saturday of the month at Comtra Theater over in the North Hills, man. And that is at comtratheater.ticketleap.com.
Yes. So we are very excited about this episode because it's a family affair. Yeah, I'm on my shit because this is episode 2 of 2. So like I'm gonna be singing this whole episode because now this Henny Sour collabo, the blackest shit we've ever done, is really starting to hit my system. But I'm really excited, man, because we got a family member, a brother, friend in the building. He's an entrepreneur.
And,
Philanthropist, influencer,
and an influencer.
has his own podcast, 10 Minutes of Knowledge. We got Knowledge Hudson in the building. Say what up to the people.
Yo, peace. What's good with y'all? What's good science?
I would say that was a pretty cool, like, Joe. Like, I see guys like that who say peace, and throw science in there. Like, they intimidate me because I'm like, they know more shit than I know.
Yeah, they're about to drop some.
They about to drop some knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if a dude shake your ass, say peace, brother. Like he about to hit you with some knowledge.
Yeah, he about to fuck your whole worldview up. Like, I know what you was thinking, but
Nah, man. What's good with y'all, man? Everything's good, man. You know.
What's good with you, man? What you been up to, man? You busy? You all around? Everybody knows knowledge, man.
Everybody
man,
knows
you know.
knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm just moving around, man. Right now, I'm just still doing my podcast, 10 Minutes of Knowledge. Shout out to Epicast for all the assistants. Shout out to, I'm Majestic for all of his assistants and all my guests. I've been doing working with the Black Bottom Film Festival out of the August Wilson Center. So I've been helping Joe Lewis with that on a social media tip. So I'm doing that for some nonprofits as well. I've been like playing the back a little bit, but I'm still around, man. I'm not.
Projects is out there. Like,
Yeah,
you might
yeah,
be in
yeah.
the cut, but your projects is in the forefront.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You gotta stay low and build, man. I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's what, like, I mean, because that's what people don't understand is like all this shit that happens is like months and years of shit that you don't see. You see what I'm saying? Like change isn't always like in your face, like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like it's all that, like, behind the scenes. And you guys just did a a collab with 11th Hour.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, how was that?
It was dope, yo. So we had the brew day, you know what I'm saying? So we went down there to meet Matt and the team. It was me, Oliver, Majestic, Knowledge Divine, Supreme was there. Justice came in town for it. And so then when the brew day happened, I wasn't able to make it because I was at my 9 to 5. But I came down at the end of the day ready. They was like, oh, we're already finished. But it was real. We sold out quick, man. Well, we sold out, relatively, because it was given away at Fresh Fest.
Yeah.
People really liked it. It was a Pilsner. It was mixed.
Oh, y'all table was lit.
Yeah.
Y'all table was lit. But y'all got good energy, and then y'all got interesting names. Y'all sound like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Wu-Tang Clan. Never enter the Wu-Tang. Nah, yeah. So, some of them brothers is our righteous brothers, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? So we all come under the same banner, the gods and the earths. So names like Supreme, Majestic, Knowledge Divine, I'm Knowledge Bill, we come in the name of Allah. So yeah, some of the brothers in Wu-Tang, like the RZA, the Jizza, some of them 5%ers as well. So definitely similar vibe.
What is a 5%er?
So a 5%er is one. So it's like a relative term in the sense, so it's like you have 5%, 85%, 10%. And so the 5% is the people who know the truth and teach the truth. In the most basic sense, the 10% know the truth and conceal it. Like they try to make money off of the truth, so they're not going to share with you. And the 85% is like the ones who's easy led. They're like, man, not even what, man? Are you crazy?
That is real as fuck.
Yeah,
I've been saying that. I didn't know that was.
I never knew the other percentage.
Yeah.
Because there are those there's that select few that have the knowledge and want to share that with folks.
For sure. For sure.
They want to give that, and there's motherfuckers that bottleneck, and it's like once I get in here, it's just me and the select few motherfuckers that I fuck with that are coming. You know what I mean?
100%.
As opposed to yo, kick that fucking door open and get as many people in.
Right.
So those are the 5%ers.
Yep. So the 5% is like the representation of the people that's going to study, learn, ask questions, and try to share with you what it is, versus charge you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now to deem yourself as a 5%er, is there a rite of passage of some sort in that? Because some of them 10%ers obviously view themselves as 5%ers.
Yeah.
But they not sharing the knowledge.
Right.
And then so you hear of several prominent figures who are 5%ers. My favorite is Lord Jamar. He just. But a lot of y'all rub people the wrong way a lot of times too, because y'all raw with with y'all, because you're not moved on your opinion of things. It's like, no, this is what it is, because you're a 5%er, you know what the real is. You know
For sure.
So, not to go into any depth of the rites of passage. There is.
There's a cultural rites of passage. It's called Knowledge in 120. So basically, you do research, you learn our value system, supreme mathematics, supreme alphabet, and 120 degree lessons. You got to memorize them, study them, know what they mean, know what they are to you. And it's like esoteric and exoteric. So you learn what they are and how it helps you become a better person. Because ultimately, it's how do you become a better individual, right? Okay. So it's like sort of what we were talking about earlier as relates to religion. We're like a God-centered culture, you know what I'm saying, versus religious culture. We look at what's within you versus what's outside. You gotta look all over the place, you know what I mean?
So 5%, you view everyone as gods.
No, we teach that the black man is God and the black woman is the earth, and the black babies are the greatest. And the babies are the greatest, you know what I'm saying? Okay. All the babies are the greatest, for real. So they supposed to be the best part. You know what I'm saying?
The babies?
So, the children, you know what I'm saying? Young people that are younger than 16, for real.
So pure.
Right, and it's almost so let's look at how many people make money off of deceiving them. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, that's so. Is there a God?
So it's the
black man.
So it's when you look at the concept of what God is, I think that's depends on how you perceive God. To me, it goes back to what do you perceive God to be? And you know what I'm saying? If you think God's in the sky,
what if God were one of us?
It's not like a spiritual thing.
It's Buddhist in some sense, where they you could be other religions, or they say if you come across Buddha on your path to enlightenment, strike him down with a sword, because everybody has their own kind of path. And I take that me myself, I have that same concept that we're all gods. If I need help, I'm gonna look in the mirror, right? And when you look at the text, the the Hebrews and all that, it's oh, we're made in his image, and you pray to a god for this thing or whatever. I look at that in the sense that I have the most power over my world, so if I need help, I need to if I'm going to pray, if I'm going to put energy, if I'm going to ask for something, I'm going to first go to the mirror and say, hey, I need to get this done, as opposed to
make a change.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what it is.
and that's what so when I have that say that I feel like everybody is a god in their own right, and as opposed to there is a centralized figure that is,
And so I think the same thing, bro. I hope I didn't cut you off.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how because it almost seems, it almost sounds like a more like a Gnostic group, as opposed to like a religion.
Yeah, it's definitely more cultural based, right? So it's like when I say the black man is God, I could easily say the original man or the original man with knowledge of himself, right? You know what I'm saying? Because the race was created, you know what I mean? So the concept of black and white and all that's you know what I mean? Neither here nor there. The man, if you in the difference of being God and the earth, you plant seed in the earth and you get a child. So to me, it's a difference when you have the sun and the planet, right? The sun plays its role, the earth plays its role, to bring forth life on this planet. And so I'm not, because sometimes people are oh, the white man's not God. Well, it's no, I'm not even, that's up to man is God by nature to me. You know what I'm saying? Are you civilized? Are you righteous? Are you trying to do the right thing? Or are you out here doing devilishment? So if you're out here doing devilishment, then you probably you know what I'm saying? You could be, black, brown, yellow, or white and be doing devilishment. You could be black, brown, yellow, white, doing righteousness. You know what I mean? So I just think that it goes into your actions and your deeds. What are you trying to do? What is your intentionality? You know what I mean? Because you control your destiny for real. Your thoughts control your life.
I think therefore I am, man.
I'm like sour Henny. You know what I'm saying? The blackest thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
The blackest shit we've ever done. The original craft.
You feel me?
Sour Henny.
Sour Henny.
Sour Henny. You know what I mean? So, but it's definitely not religious because we're not looking out and relying on something externally. You're relying on who you are. You're relying on you. What did you do last night?
I think, therefore, I am. Man. I mean,
it's universal concepts. Yep.
Yeah. The word universe, the whole, or university and all that whole nine. It's just crazy. I didn't I don't know. I didn't know that there was a whole ass fucking people that were just saying the same shit that I've been trying to stumble around and from various this and that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So now in navigating this religious driven society, this nation or whatever, do you come off as intimidating, or are people intimidated? Because to have that knowledge of self, I'll just use my example of Lord Jamar, who offends a lot of people.
Yeah,
and it's not that he's discriminating against anyone. He's just very open, and I don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Look, you're doing that. I don't fuck with that. All right. Now, you can try to tell me that's cool, that's right. I don't fuck with that. And you're lying to yourself.
Who?
If Lord Jamar from Brand Nubians. From Brand Nubian. Just listen to, look, he's made a resurgence with doing interviews with DJ Vlad. Now he has a Yada I Mean Godcast. And he's very, actually, you would probably because he comes off as super opinionated, which he is, but he's just very rooted in what his beliefs and what his morals are. You know what I mean? And so, he gets a lot of flack for how he feels about homosexuality and shit like that, but he's steadfast. He's consistent in saying that shit's not natural. You shouldn't do that. Do I agree with everything he says? I don't have to agree with everything he says because he don't give a fuck if I agree with everything he says. You know what I mean? So, and that comes off as intimidating to a lot of people.
Yeah, I think anyone who's really, deeply stand strongly on what they believe or think or know or have you can be intimidating. Or you just talking. Am I intimidating? Maybe
you're beloved by everyone. That's why I was you're loved by everybody. Knows knowledge. Everybody has great things to say about knowledge. You could be in any venue, any wherever, and somebody knows. Shit, our guest just left on our last episode, and her and Knowledge were more familiar. We just sat with her for hours. She was more happy to see Knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and a lot of it for me has been what I've it's giving back. So because of that's a part of the culture, the ethic of the culture is that equality and giving that, using your knowledge to be equality. So I worked in so many schools over the 17 years. I worked in 70 schools throughout the Allegheny County area. You know what I mean? From teaching, actually teaching, and after school programs, doing, mentoring, truancy intervention, all types of stuff. So there's so many young people that I've worked with that are adults now. And I was there to try to help them. Because once again, to me, it's like, if you're trying to help another person think for themselves by asking them questions, or because it's not about you need to think what I think. It's like, what do you think? What are your thoughts? You know what I mean?
And that's the thing is that, like, there's a difference between, like, like being steadfast and knowing what you know, and, like, and being, like, rigid and being like, well, I know better than everybody, and you gotta listen to me. Like I always want to be, like, right. And if that means, but, like,
that's real though.
Yeah, but, like, I always want to be right. But in order for me to be right, I must have to always be evolving and changing my opinion and learning, because
100%.
What was right, like, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, motherfucker, we lost a planet in this solar system. You see what I'm saying? Like, if I don't keep up on my knowledge, and whatever the fuck I learned back then ain't going to be the same. So I'd be like, oh, man, we got this whole ass solar system and that motherfucker Pluto and shit. I'm saying that same, just something as simple as that. That's just how, like, life is. It evolves. So, like, you have to be able to, like, update
your iOS.
Yeah. And, like, and come from, like, a scientific model where, like, you're testing your beliefs on a regular basis. You're open to testing your beliefs and saying, hey, like, I've always felt this way, but, like, one, where did I get this knowledge? You know what I mean? And two, is it still useful to today's application or whatever? You know what I mean? And is this feeling based? Am I holding on to this because of feeling, or, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have that. And then, and the ability to adjust. Like,
well, the most toxic institutions are the ones that do not embrace evolution at all.
They read
like
the same book.
like they just like, no, this is what it's been. This was always going to be, and I'm not dealing with this whole evolving world. So
you're right. And I mean, and then one thing that's real important in our culture is, like, checking in. Like, who's your old head? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who's taking you through the process? Like, when we talked about the rites of passage, like, you can find some of this stuff on the internet, but that's not going to help you, because this is a mouth to ear type of culture. So someone's taking you through it or helping you learn more about it, and then challenge you to learn more about yourself. You see what I mean? So it's like that person probably knows more than you about certain things, right? So if there's, like, who knows more than you, and then how do you learn more? How do you challenge yourself? Like, when you competing against yourself, but you also competing against excellence. Like, I tell my nephew, he's about to go to the 9th grade. It's like, yo, man, this, like, all across the world, people's about to prepare themselves for the rest of their life. So it's not just you versus that dude and that's down the hall, you know what I'm saying, or the people that's upperclassmen. It's you against people in Asia. It's you against people in Nigeria, people in Ghana, people in, you know what I mean, Switzerland. People all over the world are going into the 9th grade, preparing themselves for what they're going to do for the rest of their life.
We got to worry about the motherfuckers that are in 9th grade, because, you know what I mean, like, those are the folks that are come in and be like, yo, old head, we got this now. Go ahead and die.
Go ahead, move out the way, fam.
Go ahead and die.
You don't even know nothing.
With the evolution, we're growing in spite of the evolution.
Right.
Like, it's crazy.
Or we're just stuck. Like, this is what it is. You don't even know, young boy.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Man, no, you got it. And that's what for me, like, I fear becoming obsolete. So, like, I'm always trying to, like, update that shit and be like, look, if I have a belief, I need to know exactly where the shit came from and how, like, and how to move forward, because you get lost, like Outkast said, man, you focus on the past, your ass will be a has-what. Like, that's real shit.
No, it is, man. So, I try not to be intimidating. When I was in my young ages, I definitely probably was a little bit more intimidating, because I wasn't really buying a lot of the bullshit. Whereas now it's like, I just listen and nod. Like, okay, well, because at the end of the day, whatever one person thinks is what they going to bring it to life. Like, I can't, and we're all adults. It's not like we're 19 and 20 no more. We're like, in our late 30s and early 40s or whatever. So, how, like, I've been using this word recently, but how do we level up? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do we ensure that we have something to offer for the next generation, so that they're not looking at us like we ain't do our job? Because that's what a lot of us might look at the old heads like, y'all ain't give us nothing, fam. Like, or people that was younger than us was, like, hustling and making more money than the people that was older than them. Like, man, y'all fiends, fam. Like, so it's like, how do we ensure that we're really doing it right? Because throughout society, in our ecosystem, in the urban neighborhoods, or in, Black and brown communities, the hierarchy's all messed up because of economic issues. So it's just like, okay, well, how do we right that wrong as professional men? You know what I'm saying? Or professional women? Like, how do we also provide value to the young people so that they feel confident that there's somebody that knows more than them? Like you said, then you keep challenging yourself. So then how do they test themselves to challenge themselves? So now y'all spar, but they know you better than them. You know what I'm saying? You preparing them to become better than you. Because my thing is, like, I want them to be better than me. me, for real. Like, you shouldn't be where I was when I was 29 and 30. You should
exactly.
be like well beyond. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you were I was, then I messed up. Like, that's how I see it. Like, I ain't do something correct. So, you know, it's definitely a constant like tug of war, if you will, like back and forth. But at the end of the day, everyone's gonna have strong biceps like this guy over here. You know what I'm saying?
I earned them.
All them push-ups.
I'm always I'm in the gym. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. I go to the gym. That's just that's my place of sanctity. Like, that's where I can go, clear my head. I can kind of step back from all the shit that's going on, because, you know, people see like all the events and everything that we're on, and we're comedians, so they always see us in a good mood, or a day in a good mood, because people think I'm intimidating because I don't smile. But like, you know what I mean? They think everything's all good. You know what I mean? But like, you gotta have that place. You gotta have a place that you go to. So like, what's your place? What do you do to, I guess, your place of meditation of sorts?
So, I don't know, man. I like people. You know what I mean? So it's like sometimes, I mean, I'll be in an unhealthy space like the hookah bar. You know what I mean? Just like with the young, like watching them, listening to the music they listening to, but I'm just like at peace. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm there. Like, I may or may not be hookahing because that's not the healthiest thing. I might just push that on the people. But it's just like, you know, but that, and then also in the morning, like, you know what I'm saying? Like watching the sunrise just by yourself, just sitting and just thinking. You know what I mean?
People don't utilize the morning as much as they should.
Yeah, man.
The concept of getting up and just getting right into the day. Like, people...
Man, you're old as shit. That's
yeah.
just,
Yo,
I mean, it's real.
There's a lot of motherfuckers utilize in the morning. They're usually old. And that's why, like, we don't get it.
Well, it's like...
Now we're sort of like, it's crazy. I'm old as shit. I get up now at like 5.
Yeah,
like, I just be up 6 o'clock, like, just before the sun and shit. And just be, like, I got work to do. You know what I mean? But...
I got work to do. I got work to do.
That wasn't happening in my 20s.
I got a job.
You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't, I wasn't built like that. So,
no, hustle.
Yeah, so, but now, I mean, I'm 36, like, you know what? 5 o'clock don't seem too bad.
Nah, I mean, but
you go from sleeping in to getting to bed. Like, that's what it is. Like, I used to want to sleep in. Now I want to get to bed early enough that I can get the fuck up.
You old as shit. We wash.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, you're right, though. I mean, like, you know, I mean, sometimes I'll still jump up and, like, roll. But, I mean, even within that, I'm still taking 10 to 15 minutes. But the best case scenario, I'm getting up like a 4:35. You know what I'm saying? Damn. And just like, you know, because think about it. Like, I used to stay up late at night to like 2 or 3. You know what I mean? But in that, because I was like, well, no one's up. But if you pivot it, if you pivot it, no one's up at 4 or 5. Like, it's just you. It's quiet as shit.
The problem with us is that we be having to fucking perform and shit. So we be burning the candle at both ends. Like, like I've had a couple of like get in at 2, wake up at 5.
What about siestas though, right? There's a reason why siestas are important, right?
Okay, so how
siesta? What the fuck is this?
That's when you take a rest.
You take that
they
little...
do that over in Italy. Like they do that shit during the day, right? Don't they take like 3 hours? They do like
you take a little nap or something.
That's why they
take 20 minutes.
Are mad productive because they in the middle of the day, the motherfuckers just sleep.
You know what? I had like recently, I mean going like full time, like doing this shit or whatever, like with the sleep schedule, like getting up at like 5, like going working through, like maybe taking a nap around like 1. You know what I mean? Get like 2-hour nap, maybe like hour and a half, 2, and then like work until like, and that'll keep me through like the rest of the whole day. Like I can do that like up until like late night because I had those couple hours back in the day, and like honestly, the productivity was like hella. Like I was putting out 2-3 times as much, just kind of breaking up the sleep a little bit as opposed to trying to get it all at one time.
Yeah, that's what they say. They say if you take that, I mean, even if you take a 20-minute like shut eye, you know what I'm saying, like in the afternoon, like, you know, like after you eat your lunch or whatever, just like, you know what I mean, just allow yourself to get a little bit of rest, you know what I mean? If you, some people take cigarette breaks, if you just took that 15 minutes, 20 minutes just to don't get focused. Don't take the cigarette break. Just like take the focus break
without the cigarette.
Take the break without the cigarette. Just relax, meditate, think. You know what I'm saying? You will be more productive throughout that day. That's what studies have shown. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, just like, so like what you're saying, even at that hour or 2 hours, because I definitely, you know, to me, one of my old heads told me you should have a job, a business, and a hustle. So you should have all 3. So it's like if you got a job, a business, and a hustle, then, you know what I'm saying, like right now I'm bartending. That's my hustle. So I'm just like, you know what I mean? Like on the weekends every now and again, you might catch me bartending to put money over here to be able to do such and such. You know what I'm saying? I have my job, my 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, the salary joint. Then I got my business that I run. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and even the podcast could sort of be like a hustle depending on how much income you get from it, right? How much of sponsorships coming in. And if y'all not sponsoring Drinking Partners, y'all are fucking it up. So y'all need to like check in, you know what I'm saying? Put some money down.
Man,
you know what I mean? They
we
it to get.
I don't know if we've. We do take sponsorships.
In lieu of rates and reviews, we do take sponsorships and shots ahead. We have now edited our introduction.
Knowledge. I told you he's going to
impact.
Come here and fuck up your whole shit.
Just
saying.
Impact. Nah,
it became a completely different podcast. Yes, in lieu. Yes, sponsorships. That's.
You feel me?
Sponsorship. Wait, it's a job, a business, and a hustle.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, and that's what I mean. We do that. Like, we do the job.
I mean, it was kind of rolled all into this platform because there are hustle aspects, there are job aspects, but there's obviously the business aspect.
Oh yeah, man.
It's crazy.
A lot of creatives don't know that, right? The creatives just want to do art. They don't understand the business side of their art.
That is the toughest thing. Like, I mean, when I first came in, I was trying to like, yo, get your business cards, get like, get your social media presence out there, like, brand recognition, like, just like, just trying to, because they're extremely talented people, but like they just want to show up and be great.
Right.
And like they put the time in elsewhere. Like they'll put the time into actually developing the material and shit like that. Like they will like, they're writing songs. They're like practicing dance moves. They're like, whatever it is to make them a great performer, but like they don't have that skill set in the business side. And that's what's like, it's sad in a sense because like not everybody has those skills. Right. And the time that it takes to like develop those or even put it in, you see what I'm saying?
But it's like, how much are you worth? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you do a song, when you perform, how much does someone pay you? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then like, how do you get that money? Like, how do you say, yo, I'm worth $50 an hour, fam. I'm worth $100 an hour. Like I brought that whole crowd, so you need to pay me this amount of money. So it's just like having that balance is important. Sometimes, management, that's why managers are important too, but it's like 10% of nothing is nothing. So it's hard to get a manager when you ain't bringing in no money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, if you look at like, sometimes I look at Wiz, for example, because I was around him a little bit when he was younger. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't around all the time, but I was older. So it's just like one thing about him is that he had a business side of him. Like he was aware of his value. He said, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Or even Mac Miller. Like, and I use those examples because they're from here, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So they were like, yo, this is who I am. This is what I'm working. And they had older people that was in their ear, but they also had the confidence to be like, yo, this is my number. They had a team of people that was like, yo, this is our number.
Yeah.
So I think that other artists just think the same. If I think about, what's the young boy's name? Camo. Young Camo. I don't know if y'all know him. He does visual art. Like,
he was at First Fest.
Yeah, like he be doing like these huge paintings. Like, yo, that's like $3,000. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like people might look at him, but it's like, yo, this is how much it is. Or Ime Alaquiva. Shouts out to Quiv, right?
Yeah.
Way back in the day. The award winning. Back in the day when he was making beats, way back like 96, he was like, yo, this is like $3,000. People was like, yo, we're all broke, fam. We can't pay you 3 stacks or however much you charging. But he eventually found people that could pay him that money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He stuck to his guns. He knew the worth of his production, the time that he put in. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like as an artist, you have to like be able to say this is what you're worth and then accept very little less than that. Because then when you start getting paid that, then people are like, oh, that's what it's like what is that? When you crib, they assess it for this amount, then that's what people gonna pay for the crib in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? So,
Well, the assessment and the appraisal are different.
Well, the appraisal. Right. True.
If you look at money as a concept, because that's all that it is.
Okay.
Then you are in control of that concept. I mean, like if you keep pushing that, and that's the art of the deal. Like, I mean, like if you keep saying a thing. Don't you
quote, that's
bruh,
boy.
If you keep saying a thing.
Boy, that's 45.
If you keep saying a thing over and
Bring
over
his
again.
ass into this.
If you keep saying a thing over and over again, people will eventually believe it.
Yeah.
And I'm quoting him to expose him because that's all he's doing. He told you, like, look, I'm a bullshitter.
Yeah.
And this is how I bullshit. Then he went out and did it. That's like a motherfucker, like, calling a shot on you. Like, I mean, that's like Babe Ruth going up to the plate and pointing out and like, yo, I'm about to do this. And then actually fucking like, well, nah, I mean, that's a
individual
feat.
thing. Yeah.
But like this is like him just being like, yo, I'm going to lie to you. This is how I'm going to lie to you. And then actually do it and like win the presidency. Like that's exactly.
But also, I mean, I know it's a little touchy subject, right? But because there's a lot of reasons why people think that he won or did win or whatever. But I'm not saying this is the only reason the man won or even add value to it. But it's like the art of psychology. Mm-hmm. Before the primaries, everyone was like, when you ask people like who you voting for, they'd be like anybody but Trump. So if you just take that sentence, there's one person's name you heard in that sentence. So even people that was voting for him, people that wasn't voting for him, you kept hearing
So
his
their
name.
vote was still tied to
His
him.
name, yeah. At least psychologically, even if they personally didn't, they're promoting it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, your words have power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Words have power. So it's like, you know, you keep saying this man's name over and over again. That's what you hear throughout the atmosphere. That's what's on the news. What they say, no, any press is good press. Like, you know what I mean?
When they say your name, they're lifting you.
Word. You know what I mean? So it's almost like how you get people to keep saying they're drinking partners. Like finding creative ways to keep them saying your name or keep them saying whatever it is
Anybody
your branding.
but drinking partners.
Anybody but drinking partners. Then people start saying, who the fuck is the drinking partners?
Why not the
Why
drinking
not the
partners?
drinking
Why not the
partners?
drinking
Then they'll
partners?
start looking up drinking partners. Like,
Yeah,
damn, what's the
you
drinking
know
partners?
what?
Who's the drinking partners? Damn, what's this
Yeah.
about? You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that actually does
And then
sound
people
kinda
start
cool.
going to they'll
Yeah.
start going to your site more because they want to know why is it not? Why do people not want to fuck with you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Because I don't smile. That's what we learned this weekend. I don't smile, therefore people can't speak.
Well, people can't speak because they're intimidated, and they're intimidated because you ain't smile. See?
But he also, I mean, he also.
I mean, I shouldn't. I'm not saying you should smile. I'm not, and you know, I'm not saying you should smile.
Nah, it's just, I'm about to be walking around just smiling my ass off, just in random places, walking
I
through
mean,
Market
you know,
Square.
you just got to depend on what's the return on investment. What's your ROI of the smile?
smile cost.
You know what I'm saying? What did Lil Duval say?
I don't know. I like Lil Duval. I don't know how I feel about Lil Duval.
What?
I
You don't
like
think there's
Lil-
some good? You don't think those songs are good songs?
I don't.
You don't
I
think
didn't know
they're
he
funny?
made songs.
I don't listen to
I just
anything
know
he
he's a
does
comedian.
anymore.
You didn't hear those songs?
I didn't know
I'm
he did
living a
songs.
good life.
The
I'm
one
living
where
my
he's
best
dancing,
life.
the one that Jeremiah used to
Or
go
the-
at Tiana
or
Taylor.
Kill 'Em
with the shoulders.
Nah.
Killing with the shoulders. Or
It's
living my
just like
best life.
I don't have anything. So it's weird. Like with celebrities now, because it's so easy to get to people, you really have to filter through like, what do I like? So I don't. I respect everything that everyone can accomplish. So I don't necessarily like the shit that he does, but I can respect that he's able to
I respect his
cultivate.
hustle.
Yeah, like
There it is.
Yeah.
Boom.
yeah,
His
he
hustle.
can cultivate something by doing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's where in our industry, a lot of people be hating on Kevin Hart. Look, I
Why?
think he's on the Mount Rushmore of comedians? If you're talking about material, no. But if you're talking about a hustling ass dude
Yeah.
with a good heart,
Yeah.
like he has a network where he fucking, you know what I'm saying, signal boost for black comedians. Like he
Right.
gives them an opportunity on his network to do. He just did Heart of the City in Cleveland. Like
Yeah.
I wish he'd have done it in Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? Like it's, you know, you can't be mad at him. Now, do you think you are more talented than him? Fine. You can be more talented than him, but he's more talented than you at something because
Yeah.
he's doing big
He's
fucking
motivated.
things.
He's motivated. He's a motivator. He's inspiring, and he keeps
got
driving.
good energy.
Like if you think about that whole job business and the hustle, like he's going so hard, fam. It's like nonstop. And I mean, when you're looking at the art of social media, the science of social media is like how present are you? You know, like me myself, I do social media for me and my team. We do social media for other companies, but I don't do it that much for myself just because I just be kind of busy, to be honest. But it's like, I understand the science of it. Like the more present you are, the more people is going to see you. You're like, dang, I just seen you on this person's feed. I just seen you on that person's feed. The other thing that is like, people be too old trying to rap. Like, why are you trying to start rapping at like 36, man, 39, 40? Like, you should just be doing that when you young. But it's like, because when you young, you had a time to hustle. When you older, it's like when you think about Jadakiss, like Jadakiss is older, but he already has a built-in fan base. So it's like his built-in fan base started when he was young and they was young and everyone's still going to go buy Jadakiss album. Like, you know what I'm saying? They may not even like, may not listen to rap, but they'll listen to Jadakiss. But you can't think just because you come out at like 39 or 40 that you gonna become like equivalent to Jadakiss because you got a pop in social media site. That's not gonna cut it. So you got to build
It's
it.
a young man's game.
It's a young man's game.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I think with other types of art, you got to be able to like really go hard and really put in the time. Like y'all been doing this for a grip. You know what I mean? 187, 183, 283, however many shows you got. You've been doing comedy for that long plus. So it's like, you just building on the audience that you already started. So you a name that people know versus just like jumping out of nowhere. So you think about Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart's been doing that shit for a grip, fam.
Yeah.
Like he's been around for a minute.
It takes 10 years to become an
he's
overnight
2 decades.
success.
10 years. Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, I mean, you got to respect this hustle.
Yeah.
You have to. And, people who come out against him, they do come off as bitter. I think they come and I can kind of empathize with them because a lot of it is, damn, he going 100 miles an hour at all times and I'm not, and I'm taking my 100% talent and going at 50 miles an hour and he's taking, his whatever he rated.
That's how people feel.
I think that's how people, like Mike Epps is always going back and forth.
I don't think that, like, to be honest though, I don't think people see the behind the scenes shit.
Right.
I mean, and two, I think that it's misdirected anger. Like the anger is the fact that Hollywood and big production only has one poppin' funny black dude, like decade. You know what I mean? Like every decade you had Eddie, then you had Martin, then you had, Kevin. Like you could pick out the decades. It's just like one funny black dude that gets all the fucking movies and is everything, and then like nobody else eats other than on like the Chitlin circuit type shit. You know what I mean? Like in black movies and shit like that. But
Black
like there's
Hollywood small.
like so. There's that animosity with the industry. Like, yo, there's all these funny motherfuckers. Like, there's a lot of mediocre fucking funny white dudes, but they keep getting these roles over and over into oblivion, way past, like, they get the fucking old head shit. Like Tim Allen and them motherfuckers, like, they get to be, like, from a young age, be a comic, be getting all these fucking movies, get a show, then, like, and they get a whole ass movie, and in that whole ass movie full of like white dudes, it was just Martin. Like, that was the one funny black dude in all of like Hollywood for like 10 years. I mean, like Chris Tucker had his run or whatever.
But it's incumbent on us to then now let's support these smaller scale black movies, make them profitable, because when you're talking big business, they're following the dollar. All right, so if Kevin Hart is acceptable to the masses right now and he's hot, they're gonna bring him on because he's gonna be a draw. If you can do a lower budget movie and have a draw and bring people to it, then those people that start within now become a draw and they might grab a larger role. Like I kind of agree with the one black person at a time. Like it seems to go in segments. It seems to be, you take eras. You know what I mean? There was the Eddie era, the Martin era, the Cat Williams era. You know what I mean? Now it's the Kevin era, Bernie Mac. But here's the thing: Bernie Mac didn't have an era where just the industry wasn't defined by we're always going to Bernie Mac. He was able to sustain because you could always put Bernie Mac in something, and it would always. He
was like the
good.
Samuel of like comedy. He was all like
because think about it, he was
roles and shit.
Because think about it, he was in them house parties.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
What I mean? And wasn't nobody else from them house parties outside of Martin and Gina, like they wasn't, you know what I mean? And Martin had an era, but Bernie Mac, he went and got his show. Yeah. He's always on shit, you know what I mean? But he was talented enough and he had built such a following. Like he was like legendary. Yeah. And I didn't even know that until a couple years after he died, like how legendary he was to the people. Yeah. Like I was like, yo, when he did that motherfucker joke on Kings of Comedy, and he did that shit with the kids on Kings of Comedy, like he was already cemented for me. But then now,
he was Def Jam.
Now when you hear, I ain't scared, you like that shit's crazy, like with the weird fans. But like now hearing the stories about how respected he was, that's how he was able to sustain throughout and not even deal with the whole, all right, so I got to be Eddie Murphy. I got to be in the blockbuster. I mean, I'm going to stay working.
There were always a few, like, in that, like, where while somebody was getting, like, the major shine or whatever, you had a few that were, like, known and, like, people came to see and they would get little smaller roles here and there or whatever. But again, it is largely a white, like, dominated industry.
100%.
So, like, that isn't enough for, and again, it's crabs in a bucket. You know what I mean? Like, when you ain't getting shine or whatever, like, sometimes you turn on the one that is getting that shine. And, like, it's not about that person. It's about a larger industry. Why is there only one Kevin Hart? Instead of hating Kevin Hart, you should be asking, why is there only one Kevin Hart?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And Mike Epps had his time, though.
Yeah, Mike Epps just seems better or something. Is he just bitter?
He might be bitter. I hear some of it, and he definitely sounds bitter as fuck. Like,
I can say again, like for an individual like for me, right? I'm viewed as very talented. But there are individuals who have dedicated themselves more to, I'm trying to be out there. So they get opportunities that I'm like, I could do that shit, you know what I mean? But I don't get mad at them because I know, like, they may not have earned it with the time, that 5 to 10 minutes they did on stage, but they earned it with the 2-3 hours a day or 4 hours, like, that they did off stage. But not everybody is willing to look within themselves and be like, all right, maybe I contributed to what I feel is a detriment to myself. You know what I mean? Because Mike Epps, and I think it's harder for a person who's been in the spotlight too.
Yeah, and he's funny as shit too. It's not like he's not funny.
Because he's looking like I got credentials.
Yeah.
Like you see what it is with me. Why you keep going to him?
Yeah.
And like he's looking at him like, yo, he getting all these movies. My roles in movies are better. Like everybody can agree. Like when he's in a movie, his shit is good. Like when he's Mike Epps has been Kevin Hart. His movies make more money though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and Mike Epps got to.
Is it that white people like Mike Epps? I mean, Kevin Hart more than like.
Yes.
Well,
Mike Epps.
He's non-threatening.
Those roles.
He's not threatening at all. He's small. He's self-deprecating. Mike Epps be talking about being from the hood. He got a beard. Yeah, I mean, he be talking about hustlers and shit. Like that shit don't necessarily.
But it's like, who's your audience, right? So it's almost like, you know, based off that population of black people in the country, or based off the population of black people that are into this type of art. If your audience's goal is to be with black people to fuck with you, or is your goal to get as many people as you can to fuck with you, then how do you position yourself to get to that goal? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me 5% this for you.
Okay.
So maybe he is so his counter to like, oh, y'all, you hating is no. I just am saying that I don't think he's funny. I know what funny is. It's like he comes off like, I'm self-aware. I ain't hating on what he doing. Get your money. You just not funny to me.
Yeah, but that's hate. That sounds like hate.
So what?
That just sounds like a little bit of shade, man. Like let a motherfucker live, man. Like
what I'm saying,
I ain't got this nobody to be somebody.
What I'm saying is, change the industry. Do whatever I mean, we can do as individuals. I mean, like to change the industry, and like you said, if that's supporting, I mean, like black movies. I mean, as they come out,
fresh
whatever.
Fest movie fest.
I mean, making industries where we're equally represented. If we're 13% of the nation, I'd like to see 13% representation wherever I'm at. I'm not like, and in that regard,
that's 1 in 8. That ain't a hard ass.
Yeah, I mean,
and
in that regard, like, I mean, you don't have to appeal to every motherfucker body, like, because there's a lot of white people that do white movies and black people go see them motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, you know, like Asians go see white movies. Like everybody's going to see the white movies.
Like, what about Get Out? Was Get Out a black movie or a white movie?
That was a
movie.
That was a black movie. I mean, that was a black director. I mean, funded wise, I mean, but you have to.
I don't know that
you have to support that in the same way, because like you're looking at again, this is an artist, and if you want to see our issues, they brought our issues to the forefront, and it was a genre changing movie. Like that movie changed the industry, like the way motherfuckers started looking at like it was talked about in the awards, like as a comedy. Like they were trying to figure out how the fuck to get these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? As like, is it a horror? Is it a comedy or whatever? And it brought those to light. And if you want to see more like black cinema, then yes, when you see somebody like, you know what I mean, a black director or a black actor, and it's actually talking about us, not like, oh, it's white funded and we're gonna have Kevin Hart be a plucky sidekick in an adventure movie.
Right.
We're talking about actually calling attention to the issues that are in our community. If you have a black artist doing
That's
that
like the
on
5%
film,
thing.
So here's so with Get Out, here's what I'll say about that. I think the experience on the screen was a black experience. It was obviously directed by an African American. But I think where we get lost, and here's what we've done it to ourselves, when you question whether or not it's a black movie, right? Not you specifically, but what you're doing is we're taking the black experience and putting it in a box. There's a segment of the black experience that is, you know, akin to interracial relationships and then being in those circles. Because me, for example, I've never been in an interracial relationship. So when I'm looking at him on screen, to me, it's a comedy. Because I ain't never had to go meet a white woman's family and no shit like that. Now, I've been in rooms where white people look at me as a specimen.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens to me in comedy a lot. I've had white people come up to me and they talk about how cut I am and how much in shape I am. But I don't went to college with all these Nigerian dudes. I'm small to them. I'm little. Like they got that, as Quincy Jones said on our podcast, 2 years ago when he did Pittsburgh, they got the African definition. You know what I mean? So like in college, when you're surrounded by people who are conscious about health and shit like that, like who are all in shape, you look at me, I'm not a big person, but now you walking amongst the regular folk who may be just drinking a lot of shit like that, like, oh, it look like he in shape, whatever. And they come look at me like a specimen. So I can relate to that shit on Get Out. I can't relate to, I gotta endear myself to this family type of shit.
Right.
But then people question whether or not it's a black movie because I don't have that experience. He dating a white girl, or they even brought up what is the director. He's married to a white woman, so that comes into question. But we sometimes segment ourselves. We pigeonhole ourselves. You know, we don't want people to do it, but we will pigeonhole ourselves because now all of a sudden, if you do shit a little different than what I perceive as black, then now your blackness is in question.
How does even just in the sense, is it a black director, is it a black main actor, is it a reflection of like black people getting paid in the art form? Like you're talking about that 13% people that, you know what I'm saying? Like not necessarily like, what's that Asian movie that just came out that had all Asian people in it? It literally just came out. Y'all not familiar?
I'm not watching
like Rich Asians or something.
Because I went and seen Crouching Tiger. And that shit was terrible.
But the thing is that in Asians in all movies have to play a certain role. Where this was the first movie that all Asian people could be. They can just be themselves.
Like regular movie. It wasn't no martial arts involved. It was not a martial art movie. Okay.
It was like Crazy Rich Asians.
Something like that. I forgot the name. It's a shame that I forgot.
I saw a commercial.
It literally just came out. Like, and it's a huge thing because they could be like, you know, just like how, you know, this black role or this typecast. Asians are typecast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like
we are looking for martial arts out of them.
Right. Or there's some other role.
Or the dude from Hangover.
Right.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like them being just a person who happens to be of Asian descent in a movie, you know, and I think everyone in the movie, most of the people in the movie was Asian, if not 100% of the people. So, you know, I guess I'm saying to say that, you know, like when you look at the Wakanda, what was that? The Black Panther. I don't think it was a black director, but look at all the people who were.
No, it was a black director.
It was a black director.
Yeah.
Was it, okay.
But it was Marvel.
It was a black director.
It was Ryan Coogler or something?
Yeah.
I think.
But it was Disney.
It was Disney, right.
Right, so the larger construct was not black, but
Disney,
the director was.
Director, the actor, the leads,
so there was all these
writers, all that.
You gave all these people of color opportunity to get paid, to be seen, to practice the art,
to tell a story.
And they shining. They all getting like the one dude, Mabaka. He's now, what he's doing? He playing Kimbo Slice in the movie. Like they all getting.
Kimbo Slice getting his own movie.
Kimbo Slice gets.
Wow.
Well, Kimbo Slice was just on YouTube knocking niggas out, and then I like the fact that he lost a couple.
Wait, no. You said he's still knocking motherfuckers out?
No,
Kimbo
he was.
passed
I
away,
was about to say.
He's getting a movie, so Mabaka.
Yeah. No, I thought you said he
playing
was still. I was like, man, fuck, that nigga got to be like 60.
Nah, he gone. He's dead and gone. Rest his soul.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, he's dead and gone.
Really?
Yeah. You know they don't give you a movie till you're gone.
Fuck, I didn't know Kimbo died.
Yeah, they don't give you a movie till you're gone. So. Yeah, but I say that to say, like, everybody, it's good. The biggest thing for Black Panther for me, like, because wifey, she loved the representation. I loved it too. I love being able to, my daughter watches it, you know, she's kind of being able to process everything. But for me, like, to see them getting roles, they're getting shit outside of this, man. You're seeing motherfuckers getting shit outside of it. So it's not just Black Panther now. People are getting their own lead roles.
Right.
You're getting in other
because
movies.
You support it. And like I said, I mean, you're not like, you can question blackness all the way.
Oh, we influence all types of, we influence pop culture in general. We're the origin of pop culture.
I mean, so, you know.
In popular sense, not pop culture like
I
meant the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Yeah, I was raised. That's why I was thinking like, wait, there's a lot of pop culture. But I guess my whole thing is just that, you know, I had on my first season of podcast was on Juice Crew 412 on iTunes. 412. You know, shouts out to I'm Majestic and Knowledge Divine for being a part of that.
Help get a better name.
You know what I'm saying? And and you know, and I was able to interview on my first season as 10 Minutes of Knowledge, Simone Shepherd, and one thing we talked about.
Oh shit, you got her on.
Yeah. And we talked about just how small Black Hollywood is. You know what I mean? And even not just necessarily in the crab in the bucket aspect of it, but just the fact that it's like a small circle. So everybody does know everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have a relationship with everybody. And I just think that, you know, when I think about Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song, you familiar with that? The first blaxploitation film where Melvin Van Peebles, I think it was Marvin Van Peebles' father, he put out his own film. You know what I'm saying? He featured it in certain communities. It was like in 2 or 3 communities, and it blew up. And that's, I think, from my knowledge, that was the foundation of blaxploitation film. You know, so I'm just saying it to say that there is a space and time where people have done it, where they've done sort of what they was talking about, where you have done you put yourself on and you supported yourself, and then the people supported it. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to it that goes into it. I don't get caught up in. I mean, I think it's important to know who you are, but I understand that we all are humans. I mean, that sounds like kind of corny, but we all are people, right? You know what I mean? And it's like, thinking of the fact that, if something happens in here, I don't care who's here to help. We all got to help. You know what I mean? And like, when I was even talking about the whole science of like being civilized, like, you got to be civilized, man. Like, give a fuck about somebody else. Don't just like only care about yourself. And that's why, it's important to me to connect good people to good people. Like, I know that.
Well, to connect, that's what we do here. Connecting good, and the good people we connect you to, we don't even know these people. It's like I will say one of the most fulfilling things about the podcast is the fans that I've been able to meet, I fucks with them. Like, it's not like I haven't had an experience with just a weird ass fan that I'm just like, nah, that's happened. Now in comedy and stand up, I've had like a fan that I've met, and I'm just like, you's a straight nut ass dude. Yeah. Like with the podcast, we've been able to connect people who have dope, dope messages, dope.
Because it's a longer format, it's more of a personality thing as opposed to like, you're getting more shades. Like, really, if you're recording for this many hours, you've gotten so many aspects of us as opposed to like on stage, you're really getting like a couple.
Yeah, you only get like 15, 20 minutes.
You're only getting what I'm going to give you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a one, you might get a couple of dimensions, but like you're not going to get it the same way. So if you're actually listening and you're a fan and you're like digesting it as like that much, then it's going to be people that vibe in that personality. Like more or less. Like,
no, 100%.
So, go ahead, man.
No, you got it.
No, I was about to shift gears. So, are you from Pittsburgh? Or?
Nah, I'm from a little small town in Michigan.
Okay, so
originally that's where I was born.
How long have you been in Pittsburgh?
For over 30 years.
Okay,
like, what I mean. So I'm like, I could claim Pittsburgh as one of my homes. I mean, I'm from Jackson, Michigan, and I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I grew up in California.
So,
like in Anaheim.
How are you feeling about Pittsburgh right now? Like, it's in transition. It's becoming more profitable. It's phasing people out. There's gentrification. There's the increased arts. There's a lot of shit going on. Pittsburgh, I say, is underappreciated in a lot of these national stories that go viral and all that. A lot of shit like that happens here first, or very early on, and it doesn't get that national recognition. But a lot of shit happens in Pittsburgh. It's a melting pot of just different demographic and as far as age, wealth, background, all of that shit, man.
Yeah. Now Pittsburgh's interesting. Like, so there's Pittsburgh proper, and then there's the region. So, it's definitely Pittsburgh's a piece of work, fam. Like, there's not a lot of middle class black people here, right? Because there's a brain drain. Because people who are from here go away to college and they be like, word, I am not going back to Pittsburgh, right? The people who are doing, a lot of the people who are come here, some of them will stay and still continue to do dope shit and do dope things. You know what I'm saying? The other element of it is that there's 90 neighborhoods, so it's a city of neighborhoods. So every neighborhood has its own identity. Like, no, I'm from Allentown. I am not from Knoxville. Or I am, you know what I'm saying? Even though you got the hilltop communities, they'll still start to separate themselves. Or I'm from Lincoln. I am not from Homewood, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a stone's throw away, but it's like you still have that unique neighborhood identity, which has value, but because it's so small, it creates a difficult time to like create a larger culture. Like, if you in certain parts of different cities, you have a larger culture of the city. Pittsburgh has many, like, here they say Ike and Neffs, over here they say homies or something.
Oh, you in the Hill District? What, you from Chauncey? You from Sugar Top? You know what I mean? The first distinction I had was bro versus homies and versus Neffs and Ike. Like, those are three different neighborhoods. And then in college, that's so bro. I forget where that was from. I think I know Neffs and Ike obviously from the Hill District. I think bro was Wilkinsburg. I think, if I'm correct. And then homies, I forget where homies was from, but like
that's like Homewood, East End, like you know what I'm saying. So so it's like and then even like the history of the city where like even in like Lawrenceville, like certain parts of Lawrenceville, like the the Irish Catholic versus the Irish Protestants, if I can use that correctly. So it's like certain people live up top of the hill, certain people live down the bottom of the hill. There was separation, so it wasn't even like a just black versus black or white. It's just like the city is like this. The city of bridges is 446 bridges or something like that, right? So so it's like in 3 rivers or 4 rivers, right? So because of those dynamics in the Appalachian Mountains, you'll find that our city is similar to other cities in the Appalachia. You know what I'm saying? Like St. Louis or like like similar. I could use Erie. It has some similar vibe to Erie. Like 79 goes up and down Appalachia. So you'll find some similarities within these places.
It's like Erie, but like there's happy people here.
Yeah. For sure. And so I mean, so I said all that to say that I like Pittsburgh.
Wait, I was kind of not paying attention. It feel like a shot was thrown my way.
We got 180 some episodes. Everybody know I don't fuck with Erie.
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 You could Erie take that shot. Boom. It's just I was looking at my phone and then Buzzy started giggling. And I looked at Dan. I'm like, wait, did this nigga just take a shot at me?
I know. I like the beer up there. Don't get me wrong. The breweries up there are dope as shit. Go hit that Erie Trail, but man, living there is tough.
Yeah,
that's probably
man.
why they brew good beer.
Yeah, man, you got to get by. So I think that but I say all that to say that outside of all that, Pittsburgh's cost of living is low, right? You know what I mean?
For the time being.
I think that it's getting toward a normal space, but I don't think it's going crazy above. I mean, like, look at the tech centers here. You have Google.
It's
Google's
dumb
here.
ass cheap
You
to
have
live here,
urban.
bro.
You have Ubers here
Right now.
You know what I'm saying? CMU doing a lot of great
We
stuff.
got a long way before somebody starts calling this an expensive city. Like,
I mean, you got a minute. You got a good
cities
minute.
that are-
we
yeah,
ain't
but-
even on Philly's like level.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, like we still like it's uncomfortable.
But the
ass-
terrain of it will. I mean, for
we
what
are
you pay,
lacking
you can be isolated here.
Yeah,
Like, 'cause
we
of the
don't have a
terrain.
metro system at all, and that's
Don't have
like,
that.
I mean,
so that's gonna
like,
keep it a little lower for a little longer. till
Yeah,
they get
I
there.
mean-
I mean, they're
shit, in
trying to build to
Allentown-
something, right? They're trying to do that BRT.
man, we got buses and we're the city of bridges. All this motherfucker, like, look. We had buses. We don't have any buses anymore. And I get like, yeah, you want to like build new ways of travel and like transportation, this and the other. That's fine. But like the easiest and the quickest way to get cars off the road is have a fucking bus system that you can actually rely
Oh
on.
man, the Rapid in Cleveland, that shit's huge, bro.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it here.
Huh?
I mean, I've been.
No, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying that in the interim, because like traffic is fucking crazy. I don't know if you've driven around
Is it though?
Pittsburgh.
Where?
What do you mean?
Everywhere you gotta go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I
It's
don't know.
only
Like,
crazy if you're
driving-
approaching a bridge.
I mean,
I'm in a tunnel. If you're
a
approaching
tunnel or a bridge.
But see, I
like,
think I don't know.
this is the city of bridges. Like,
I mean, I don't know if traffic is crazy or if it's just normal traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like if you're leaving down, like, because most of the people live in the suburbs. That's the other thing. Like, people live in the suburbs because you can get more land for your money, and then they work in the city. So then they're all trying to get out to the Penn Hills, to the North Hills, to the, you know what I'm saying, to the South Hills. They're trying to get to the outskirts. So therefore, they're causing a lot of traffic as well as coming in. So they're going down Fifth Avenue. You know what I'm saying? They're clogging up East Liberty because they're headed to Wilkinsburg or they're headed to, you know what I'm saying? So
but
it's like,
I mean, but you have so much construction with so many cars on the road. Like, I mean, that infrastructure. Like, it took me
4
26
seasons, bro.
It took
You gonna
me
have construction all
Yeah,
the
no, I
time.
get it. You are gonna have construction, right? So when you have construction, the best way to mitigate that construction in the short term is to have buses where you're taking away more cars off the road, so that you can have
Y'all need a Rapid, man.
yeah,
The
but that's what they're trying to
Rapid
do.
is
You
gonna
familiar
be-
with that, right?
Yeah, so
The
back
BRT
home we
joint.
got the RTA,
Yeah.
the Rapid though. So that gets you downtown. Yeah, I mean
To the college
It's-
area, right?
It gets you down to the college. The college area is downtown-ish. You know what I mean?
I mean,
But, like,
what's the name of the where does it go from to?
what is it? A train?
No,
It's
it's,
a
a
train.
bus. It's a
It's-
rapid bus, ain't it?
no, it's like a train. It's like the monorail or whatever.
Oh, you're
Like
not
it-
talking about the rapid bus system, because that's what we're gonna get.
So we got RTA. So with the Rita now,
Oh,
you
the
can get
RTA.
down to you know what I mean. You can do all that, but the Rapid really gets the people downtown. It's widely used by more people. So like the T here or whatever, I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. I don't know of a lot of people that use it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Rapid, it runs through several neighborhoods. You know what I mean?
Because
Like
the
we
T-
used to catch
the T has one like route. So
yeah,
it's-
so it runs through several neighborhoods. So like me, we lived in Cleveland Heights, right on the border of East Cleveland. So what we would do, we catch the 37 down to Windermere. And then now from Windermere, you can get to the west side. You can get all the way to the west side if you want, but you can get downtown. You know what I mean? So like people would drive to the station, park there, and then catch the rapids. So the roads ain't as congested. I mean, you always gonna have congestion downtown.
You are, but there's ways to mitigate that.
We ain't had the tunnels either.
City plan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is that like, I mean, it's tougher to dig around here or whatever with all of the water and shit that, you know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like,
You don't live in Pittsburgh, do you?
I do.
Where you live at?
Or no,
What's
I
your
don't
name?
live in. No,
See?
I live in Beaver.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't live in the city.
No, I don't live in the city, but I have to drive into this motherfucking city.
But that's the problem.
Always.
And I think that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that the people who are coming from the outside, coming into the city, and then coming from the inside, going out the city, they run into a lot of traffic. But like, I live in East Liberty, so I could just jump right on onto that P1 or what is up and be straight to the crib.
But when I work, but if you live in East Pittsburgh,
that's
you
not
live
Pittsburgh
anywhere,
though.
Yeah, but that's the thing though, is that like it's Allegheny County.
But it's not Pittsburgh, fam.
But the people that feed
But what
Pittsburgh,
is
like
Pittsburgh?
the people that live
Pittsburgh is 55 square miles.
I get it, but you need in order for Pittsburgh to work,
within
you need
Allegheny County.
Allegheny County.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I agree with him on
Allegheny
this, and
County
you don't get
does
that a lot from me, but I do agree with him.
Without Allegheny County, Pittsburgh is just a husk. There's not a lot of people that live like downtown. You see what I'm saying?
Not a lot of,
but there's a lot of people that work
shit
downtown.
So
in order for that, in order for people to come down there and enjoy the entertainment and enjoy the hot dogs and the food and all that other shit, all those workers that don't live downtown have to commute downtown from somewhere,
right.
and they usually are like Allegheny County. Like if you're from Pittsburgh, basically Allegheny County is Pittsburgh. If you live in Allegheny County, you claim Pittsburgh. That's just like
now. The only problem with that is that all the little municipalities in Allegheny County got their own mayor. They got their own police force.
But they got their own
fire.
We have Port
they got their
Authority
own
of Allegheny County, and that is what I'm talking about. Is if you have Port Authority services Allegheny County. It's not just the city. So why have they stopped servicing majority of Allegheny County is what I'm saying. I get that most of the workers are here in the city.
Well, see, this Port Authority is a state-run thing, right? It's state-funded. So that's not the city of Pittsburgh's that's not their responsibility. Like,
yeah, it's not. It's a county thing and a state thing.
It's state-funded, right? So therefore it goes to like the state budget and things like that, which then has an impact on it. So for example,
but then why does Philly have a better
because Philadelphia is Philadelphia County. Philadelphia City and Philadelphia County is one and the same. If Allegheny County was Pittsburgh, then you would not have these problems. It would be different, right?
Tell them.
But the problem is that the small, the municipalities don't want to give up their power, right? And maybe they don't want to have the mayor of Pittsburgh be the mayor of Allegheny County, right? And I mean, I think the mayor's doing a great job. But however, if you might want to have the mayor of your municipality be, because you know him, you can talk to him, like it's a smaller place. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot. There was a guy who came to this PCRG conference a couple years ago. His name escapes me, but he was dropping science on how if we became a county city, that we would be doing so much greater.
I mean, because that's so what it is.
But it's just difficult to negotiate and navigate that with everyone.
So many.
So from a social point, from a social aspect, we're there. But as far as the everyday, where you pay your taxes how these
and all that.
the infrastructure,
because you would take the burden. You would take the burden of all the other small poor areas as well, right?
I still feel like we have a fucking Port Authority of Allegheny County, and it needs to be servicing Allegheny County.
Think of the school. Well, I think the thing about what I understand about the buses, right? So if it costs me $3 to get from downtown to East Liberty, how much should it cost me to get from downtown to Monroeville or downtown to Murrayville?
That's when the zones come in, right?
Or whether it's
several zones or some shit,
right? But it's zones, but it's also how much does it literally cost for the funds of the bus and all this other stuff, and what's the ridership? So when they break down that whole process to figure out where are the most people getting on the bus, like, you know what I'm saying, like what's the best route to take and the community engagement elements of that, like I won't call it complex. It may sound like a cop out, but it is definitely a process they go through.
I mean, it's far beyond what the average person is thinking about. I'm not thinking about how to structure the routes. I just know that there's a stop here, there's a stop there. I'm trying to find a stop closest to whatever. But somebody got to piece this shit together.
To me, it's almost like my thing is like, and maybe I'm being selfish with this, but I think people should move back in the city. The reason why they don't want to move in the city is because, once again, you get more land for your money out in the suburbs.
But I feel like younger people are caring less and less about that because we're not having families as large either. Motherfuckers is having one or two kids tops. You don't need this vast amount of land, but you do need accessibility. Like it's weird. And there's a movement back to getting into the city because remember growing up, suburb, like if you lived in the suburbs, you was getting it. Like if your family lived in the suburbs, you were looked at as like y'all got money, but now you gotta have real money to live in the city.
That's the cycle of cities. You know what I mean? They all breathe. Like I mean, it's the center, and then people move out, wealth moves out, and then
they built it like
and then
that.
they come back in. Like
they made the highways. They made the highways, and then allow people to move to the suburbs, and didn't allow certain people to get mortgages out there to build wealth for certain people. You see, that was strategically done, right? Yeah. So, you know, and the whole thing was to get out of the city because of what was happening. But you're right, and now it's happening. People coming back in. But that's why I would even counter that there are a lot of people. There's a decent amount. There's more people that live downtown than we think. Right, and the cost of living, although high, is not high. It's just different than it's like we if you function from a 2008 region perspective, you think like, okay, I should be paying $400 for a 2-bedroom apartment, $500 for a 2-bedroom apartment. But if you're thinking from a 2011 and beyond, you're saying $800, $900 for a 2-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So some people
finding that?
Cheap as shit.
Where you finding $900 2-bedroom?
2-bedroom, that sounds cheap as shit.
You could do that in East Lib. You get 2-bedroom, $900, $950.
You can only do that in East Lib where the hills come into play.
No, like on the flats, like East Liberty Boulevard, like Rippey Street. Like I mean,
but they about to redo all them shits on East Liberty Boulevard. They about to redo all them shits.
Yeah, you might be right.
They about to get that shit up out of there.
But I'm just saying, like, so I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, affordability. So like, you know, working at the housing authority, so I put out there, like, you know, it gives me a better understanding of what affordability is. And so it's like 30% of your income, right? So 30% of your income is what's your income. And I think that that's another thing that, you know, when we go back to that job, business, and hustle and connecting people to opportunities, like how do we help put money in each other's pockets so that we can be able to pay these bills and be able to live a life?
But here's the thing about Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has become what I would say recession proof, right? You got education, healthcare, technology, and some finance or whatever. But a lot of these industries are almost monopolized. You know what I mean? Like UPMC almost has a monopoly on healthcare. Yeah. And my understanding of the reputation of UPMC is you use them for the resume, but you don't work for them. So a lot of my boys who's coming out, you know, my man's about to be an anesthesiologist. He's not even considering staying with UPMC because he's not going to get the wage that he's going to get elsewhere. So the thing about it is a lot of these companies here, you know, the wages that you make in Pittsburgh aren't comparable to what you get out. Like a San Francisco, right? Their real estate market, ridiculous. Yeah. But people are able to buy that shit because the wages are
But I mean, motherfuckers is over here filing for food stamps in like these Silicon Valley and shit. Like they like millionaires, but they broke because the cost of living is so fucking high. Yeah. And that's why, like, I mean, even if you do make a higher wage, man, I'm telling you, bruh, Pittsburgh is cheap as fuck.
Well, there's opportunity.
Your wage, the cost of living is better here than in most places in the country.
I mean, have you noticed all the new Maseratis that you see driving around? Like
but those
all them people at Google and stuff like that.
I used to live in Squirrel Hill, and like there was a lot of fucking Lambos and like high end shit out there or whatever. And it's like those motherfuckers would barely be able to feed their family in Silicon Valley. Yeah, you know what I mean, like,
so I think the key is that we need to bring more people that can make those tech jobs, or you know what I mean. Like, so how do we recruit black people if we want to recruit black people back here, right? So how do we recruit black people that's graduating from HBCUs or that's graduating from colleges?
Where the HBCUs are, they're generally in warmer climate states, and it's difficult to bring someone from a warm climate state to a state that gets.
But I'm just saying for the job.
Chicago does it. New York does it. Boston
Chicago
does
got that visual swag, and a lot of cities have that visual swag.
So how do we get them? I mean, because people do travel upwards. So how do we get them to do that?
It's like, what do we have here? Like, what about the comedy shows, right? So it's almost like when you think about black culture, right?
Yeah. Fresh Fest. So that's a step in the right direction, because I think a lot of these young professionals, do they feel like when they come to Pittsburgh, they can get that sort of experience?
Exactly. You know what I mean?
I used to joke about, like, for example, Savoy. I used to talk about, they trying to be like a DC club. The thing about when you go to DC, you're excited to go to the club. You know why? Because that shit's exciting. There's a lot of bad Jones in the building.
Yeah.
There's
Right.
a nice ambiance. Maybe the drinks are
Fresh
overpriced.
Fresh was dope, yo.
Fresh Fresh
Y'all
was
did a
dope
great
as
job,
fuck.
man. I mean, we all participated, but it was almost like
Fresh Fresh was dope as shit.
The product of it, the results of it, everyone felt good. You know what I'm saying?
There's
Like
a black face at every booth.
it was a black face at every booth, and there was a lot of black faces walking through, right? And so you don't, because Pittsburgh is like the metropolitan area, according to 2010 census, and I know we're about to have 2020 census, but it was the whitest metropolitan area in the country, right? So, you know, you don't have as many black faces here because they're so spread out.
Yeah.
So when you can bring people together and have an experience, then you have impact, you know what I mean? And to me, that's the power of those connections. That's the power of like really building those bridges. And
We don't have a fucking like a radio station. Like I know we got Whammo, but it's AM.
But we don't have black dollars to do that,
bleeds
right?
in the FM, and we don't have we don't have a morning. If you're
Yeah.
commuting to work
There it
anywhere
is.
in Allegheny County,
There's a Whammo. Whammo got a morning show, don't they?
Whammo, let me tell you
but
something.
are you going to be able
When
to
I'm-
get that shit
when
on
I'm
your way into
downtown,
work?
I'm dropping my kids and wifey off downtown.
Yeah.
When I go up Liberty
you're right.
Avenue on my way back to my place of business, I'm in the strip district. That shit start fading quick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't
That shit
have,
start
and we don't
fading.
even have like black, like we don't have black radio personalities on our FM. And that's the thing is that like when you're looking at a city that you know like does have low cost, you know what I mean, like living or whatever. There's also like poverty and people don't have as many things technologically. A lot of people still listen to the radio. Like that is a huge thing. You
Yeah.
don't have a black presence on it. What morning commute are you listening to outside of Whammo? If you can get Whammo, outside of Whammo, where are you hearing a black person on your way in or out
Partners
of work?
Pod.
That's why everybody who's listening to this should need to share it on their social media platform. You need to tell 10 friends about it because you need to get more people listening to the
tell
Partners
your
Pod.
friends
You need
about
to
it.
get more sponsorship in there because I think that when you look at new media in 2018, you have more impact. It's like, how do we get this on Sirius FM? Like I know people that listen to Sirius FM, they're not listening to Whammo. They're not
Yeah.
like,
Because
you know
they
what I'm
be
saying?
giving out mad free memberships. They give you like 6 months,
Yeah.
and then you let your shit die.
Every time you
and
buy
they
a
send
car,
you
they give you,
another.
don't they?
Then they send you another
Yeah.
6 months. Like, yo, we really want to have you back. Like, people play that game with Sirius. Like,
Yeah.
and it's crazy because there's a shift in how people think. This is younger people, and it's more prevalent here in the city because Pittsburgh, for a long time, I've been here for what? 14 years. When I first got here, was all old wealth, all old money. And there are still neighborhoods, like, for example, the Shady Side, in East Liberty to a certain extent. There's a lot of old money there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of new money coming in.
That's what
and
I'm
this
saying.
new money wants new experiences.
Right.
Yeah, but the new
How do you get the
has
new
been
money that
the-
sponsor the new ideas?
But it's a lot of the new money is white money, and like we're trying to figure
So
out.
of it is-
money is green, fam.
It is, but like
'Cause it's
but
shared ideas, right?
But like if you're looking at somebody that is like if you're looking at building a black like middle class neighborhood, you got to import young black black youth. You know
But
what I mean?
Savoy's
Like,
not own. Okay, I guess I'm just saying to say that it takes all to make it, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
So if someone is sponsoring a black event or
Oh
a
yeah,
black, you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
I'm not
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that
or
like
black experience, if you will.
experience. Yeah, I mean, because like, yeah, we have sponsors and they're not black sponsors or whatever.
Right.
I mean, but they're helping in that community or whatever. Same thing with the festival. All those brewers like made a commitment to like collab and brew something and like, I mean, actually like give something to the black community in order to be there. I mean, so like, I get that. I'm just saying that you can't build a middle class black community unless you are able to attract young black wealth.
No, I agree
You know
with
what
you.
I
I
mean?
agree with you 100%. Me myself, I've been trying to give back a lot, right? So this year I gave money. I was able to raise money through 3 different organizations. One was and I want to shout them out, was Be Me, right? Which they do.
Yeah, Being Me.
Yeah, Be
Tell
Me.
them fucks with us. Fuck with us.
Yo, they do a
Shout
lot of
out
great
to
stuff.
Harry
Yeah.
from
I
being
mean-
me. Yeah, I put your name out there. Shout out to Claudia. He been on here being
Yeah.
me. Ime, he being me.
Yeah.
Like, we fucks with y'all.
They doing a
fucks
lot
with
of great
us.
stuff. So I did
Sherry.
an event with Harry and Shalise from Shalise
Oh,
Henderson.
my man Braxton's wife.
Yeah, from
She's coming back for this because I know they relocated.
They hashtag like they on Tuesday. Oh, I didn't know that, but I know they're.
Oh, well, what the
I'm not sure if they did or didn't, but I know they do
No, I know
the
they did.
philanthropic giving, and that's what they're all about, right? So then
Philanthropy.
Philanthropy,
That's the
right? So
name
we
of
did
the
an event that raised $1,000 of giving for Be Me, and then also I was able to raise $1,000 for the Kelly Strayhorn Theater, which is also another organization that's led by
Kenzel,
what I'm saying, prominent black women and black folks. You know what I'm saying, doing things for the community and for all people, and the LGBTQIA, and they're trying to like do things for artists in East Liberty. So I was able to raise $1,000 using my birthday as leverage to do that.
When's your birthday?
My birthday is March 8th. So I did it in March, and I did it over 3 weeks. And I mean, it was it's $1,000. It may not necessarily send someone to college, but it's a contribution.
Special. You're 38 special.
Pew, 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 pew. Oh, my bad. and then I was actually awarded by the Sprout Fund, the Legacy Award. I received $1,000, and I gave it to Black Tech Nation. You know what I mean? Because
shout out to Kalani.
Kalani's doing some great work, and her team's doing some great work. So it's just how do we individually give too, right? You know what I mean? And I only share that because I want to try to inspire other people. Because $1,000 is not a lot of money, but it does have some impact to some other organization.
Tommy Digital over there, Genesis Boom.
Yep.
Said, are you creating opportunities, man? And that's the question, man. Are you creating opportunities? Fuck how much money you getting. Yeah, I mean, you be out here fucking bitches and rolling in this and that and like doing all this and you're successful, whatever. Are you creating opportunities? If not, then what the fuck is it worth?
Right.
Man, nigga, you are old.
I'm old as shit, man.
You are old.
I get up at 5
You
a.m.
can't tell a young nigga like that if he fucking bitches. Like, are you creating opportunities? You can't say that to your 19-year-old nephew.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, because you'll see those motherfuckers like we are uplifted by the community, and that's we're moving away from capitalism. Like, as much as motherfuckers are it's the death throes where everybody like trying to hold on to this shit, but like give this fucking podcast out for free. Mm-hmm. This is socialism.
I don't think we've moved away from capitalism.
Yeah, I don't know.
No. We have not moved away from capitalism, but we're moving into a more like capitalism / like socialistic society, because it's about what your net worth is to the network. You see what I'm saying? Like, how how am I'm valuable only because I create opportunities in the community. You see what I'm saying? If I stop creating opportunities in the community stops fucking with me.
Right. I'll simplify that and just say people have more choice. They have more choices, right? So now these, let's say woke, I know that term is overused, but like people are more woke now. So it's like, all right, look, I could listen to your podcast, but if your podcast ain't giving it the things that I think should be happening, then I'm just going to listen to this one because I'm going to get that same entertainment. I'm using that same medium. You know what I mean? So, no, I feel what you're saying on that in that regard.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I just think that, again, you're moving into society where because even people are having like less babies and whatever. Like when you're talking about when you get older or whatever and how you're being taken care of, it's a community thing. Like when you go down, the community is going to have to be there, in order to uplift. Like we just went through that shit like a year ago. Like understanding that, like how your impact on the community and that give back. So like, yeah, that shit, that money and this and the other, you getting your whole thing, that's cool. But like when you fall, if you're not creating other opportunities, all you got around you is sharks that is just going to take that shit. As soon as they can't wait.
Look, man, even if you are creating opportunities for other people, man, sometimes people that's younger than you, they just want your spot. Because they think you old and they think you ain't doing a good job. I'm
not even talking about. Everybody wants your spot. I'm not saying you won't have sharks. Like I'm saying that you have a much better network of people around you if you are looking out for people outside of yourself. I mean, that's just that's really all it is. I mean, like if you and in this new age with technology or whatever, with social media and like the fact that we have the means of production and it's so cheaper for us. Yeah, I mean, like we're doing this podcast. This podcast would need a sponsor from like Kraft like 30, 40 years ago. Yeah, I mean, the amount of equipment, the amount of shit that goes into this. Like now the technology is cheap. Not only can we do this, but we can put it out I could put it out to China tomorrow, today. As soon as we get done, Buzzy could edit this shit, put it to China. That shit would cost us prohibitively. Like, years ago, now we have that. So, like you said, 100%. You have more choice. You have more, but you also have more ability to do that. And if you're everybody's going to want your title, or everybody's going to want to like maybe take away what you have. But if you have people that you're supporting while you're with that, then that, like Jay-Z said, if every nigga in your clique is rich, your clique is rugged. Like, look at that like as the community in Pittsburgh. Like, yo, let's uplift this whole motherfucking thing. That's what the beer industry taught us. Like, yo, if you're doing well and we're doing well and y'all doing well, when the fucking shit hits
We
us,
doing well.
we doing well. When the tide comes,
Everybody eats, B.
everybody
get this money.
B. You know what I mean?
I
Everybody
can't wait till I have to
eats beef.
shoot
watched
somebody
that
in the ass.
Bro, I just watched that shit yesterday.
Everybody
man.
eats
It's on
beef.
Netflix.
You ain't getting no money?
Right. You know what I mean? Nah, really, I think you right on something, brother. Like, being able to give back, and I think you got to start with you. You got to start with you and your family and your friends, you know what I'm saying, and really have an impact in your community, and if it's Pittsburgh, if it's Beaver, wherever it's at, man, inspire other people to become greater, you know what I mean? I know we started with the 5% and all that, and I think that, I am a part of the Nation of God's Earth, or the 5% Nation, and I think if you want to learn more about that, you need to talk to somebody who's a part of it. Don't take what I'm saying on face value as if, because it's not a religion, it's not like, it's definitely a culture, but it's a driving force in somebody that helps them be better, you know what I mean, to be greater. And I think that regardless of what your religious affiliation is or your cultural affiliation, if you just try to become a better person every day, then you gonna be, you know what I'm saying, on the right path. Even if you becoming a better person at dissing somebody, then you just be a dope disser, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe that's not a good example, but
No, it is. Because we love a good roast as comedians.
Right.
Hone that skill, like get that knowledge.
We ain't really get into that Catholic diocese thing, but
Well, I guess we got a little bit of time. Because I tried to segue. I was asking you about the pulse of the city, and we talked not much about religion in the traditional aspect, but with 5% or whatever, we talked about belief. And we touched on how the city of Pittsburgh really be involved in like these larger contextual things. They be happening in Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh don't be getting the credit for. Now this, I'm sure they don't want credit for. No. But it was 300 Catholic priests were indicted, and 99 of them were in the Pittsburgh or Allegheny County area.
Yeah, Catholicism is canceled.
Well, yeah, that shit should have been done a long time ago. And it's crazy because I know one of the priests that was named in the indictment. He's passed. But this is a story, so I'll tell the story and fuck it. All right, so here's what happened. I was working at a bank. I was working at a drive-through branch, small business center. There was a Catholic church. They would deposit with us. And one of the priests would come in weekly and deposit with us, whatever. And we had a decent rapport. Although one time, I didn't tell y'all this, so one time I found out that his dog was racist, and he openly admitted that his dog was racist. Because his dog was like barking at me because I had to take some change out to him. And his dog was barking at me all crazy. And so he came in the next week, and one of the tellers, she was like, yeah, your dog's really aggressive. He was like, no, my dog, he doesn't like black people. Like, he said this to me.
Wow.
I was just like, damn.
That's just like how casual motherfuckers be. Like, that's just like
well,
that. But like, and that's society for us. Yeah, when people just casually be like, yeah, racist.
Yeah, like it wasn't.
What are you gonna do?
And what was so crazy is he could say that, and it was nothing. It was nothing I could do about it.
He hates Jews.
There was nothing I could do about it.
What are you gonna do?
Like he knew what he was. Like what I mean. You a pastor, a priest at a Catholic church or whatever. They bringing in some money. You know what I mean? So that's that's
free money.
Right. That's not a relationship that the bank is willing to sacrifice.
Jets. They bringing that jet money in.
So I can't write an email like, yo, this man said his dog was racist.
Yeah.
Let's cancel this. Like, ain't shit I could do. So whatever, that happened. So I move on from this particular branch, and he don't see me for a minute, and he writes me this letter. And in this letter, he's talking about how he misses the relationship and how I'm special to him and all this. Now, I'm a grown ass man. Like, I'm not like my age now. I'm probably like 21 at the time. And so I get this letter, like they delivered this letter through inner office mail, and I read it. Chill the fuck out. So I'm like, now you gotta understand, as a black man, like as a young dude, like you have to be very startled by a letter to then take that up the ladder to your manager. Like, I took this to my manager, like, yo,
like this is
the language in this.
Yeah, this ain't just
it's a bit much.
Yeah, this ain't like a hey, you know what I mean? Like, because like I've never like. I mean, I guess I'm a younger generation, so like I haven't written a hand letter in a while. So I mean, maybe
This
that's the thing that
motherfucker
people
typed
do.
this letter.
But he like typed
On the church letterhead.
Oh, was it like the old head type like
yeah,
it wasn't printed. It was a typewriter.
Typewritten. It was typewritten, but it was on the church letterhead. Like, and he was talking about how he missed me and our relationship, and I'm special to him.
He told that to a nun. He was like, "Take this down, Sister Sarah."
He sent this letter to me. He
I've got
sent
some
me
feelings
this
to
letter.
convey.
And so I take it to my manager, and I'm like, "Yo, look, I don't know what this nigga on, but like, I just want to let you know, like, I ain't had nothing to do with this. I don't want to process any of these about." And what's crazy, it was funny at the time. Like, we joked about it. My manager, she kept that letter for years. And then this news came out. This news comes out.
Pedophilia.
And I'm like, yo, let me see if he on there. Like, and sure enough,
he was checking for the kid.
he was on that list.
I mean, that's so sad, man.
It is because he tried to get. I didn't almost get got. I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
He tried
let's
to
clarify.
He tried to recruit you to the church.
Let's clarify. I
threw
didn't
the bait.
almost nothing.
He threw
I
that
didn't
bait.
almost.
That shit dropped right next to your head. He was like,
Okay, I didn't almost get got. Sure, he cast. Look, he cast his reel. He definitely cast his reel. He cast his reel, but I didn't latch on. He definitely, when in doubt, pull it out at me. Like, he definitely.
"Young Gertrude, take this down."
Like, he wrote me a letter.
"Dearest Edward."
That's so fucked
Like,
up.
it's I'm laughing
Damn.
about it now, and I've laughed about it for years. What happened? But when I saw his name on the list, I was like,
Damn.
God, like, yo, that shit worked on somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that shit, like, for him
he's
to,
got a couple of downloads.
like, and I
yeah,
think,
man.
I think he had even been. They had ostracized him from the church for a minute.
But how many people in your branch did
I was
he
a
get,
grown ass
Do you
man.
think you were the only one? Like, I mean, like,
know
how
what's-
many motherfuckers in your branch did he get? He sent out
don't know.
one letter, changed the name.
Oh shit!
A couple of
I didn't even get a
details.
personalized
You didn't
letter.
get a personal. You just like, yeah, I mean, he got workers.
I was a booty call for this
How
nigga.
many it fell for the?
He was like,
yeah, I
I'm
mean.
checking for you. Oh, it's like,
Oh,
but,
this is
but, but if you wouldn't,
booty call.
He
Damn.
BCC'd you, bro.
Yo, that shit's crazy.
He BCC'd you.
he
But,
said,
you know-
BC seed you.
I gotta
before
pause.
Christ
Just even
seed
those
you.
2 letters. What is those 2 letters put together? Pause everything. Everything.
Before Christ copied you.
Yo, what's up with that, man?
Pause everything. No, but it's crazy because, like, how fucking, like, the unmitigated gall to quote Stephen A. Smith, the unmitigated gall. I'm a grown ass man, dog. Like, you said that to a grown ass man.
You know what
It's
you
just
sound
so
like?
sick,
You know
man.
what you
So
sound like?
sick
You
and
sound
sad.
like the women that be complaining. They be like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this motherfucker said this to me." And you know what I say? I mean, like, which is, I think it's terrible. I definitely believe it's terrible. But you know what's even more terrible? The fact that shit works on somebody.
Well, no. So for me, and here's the
that
crazy.
motherfucking letter went out with about 10 motherfuckers. He got 2.
Now, you know what's crazy? So for me, like, he sent that letter to me, it's like, yo, that shit's just, that's gay. You know what I mean? And like, however you feel about that, that's how you feel about homosexuality.
He's interested.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
fine.
did that to children.
Yeah,
And that's a whole nother level of shit.
Yeah, that's
Like,
that's
that
so
shit's
sad.
crazy.
Because don't the church go against that?
I don't know what the fuck they be saying. I know them Catholic.
Who
them
the fuck know what the church go against? You know what I mean? Motherfuckers elected Donald Trump. What the fuck do you go against? You know how Donald Trump won? The evangelicals. The motherfuckers, them Bible thumping, you know what I mean, tent like going motherfuckers like they, you know, again, racism. Let's be very clear, racism. They talk about identity politics. He played identity politics and he played it well. But a lot of these motherfuckers. A lot of these motherfuckers that supported them are Christians. It's the right. It's the Republican. It's the, what do they call it? The family values, the values first, like party or whatever. They elected this dude, a motherfucker. So like, I mean, what do they denounce? I mean, they almost like they were trying to elect dude that was a kitty dealer down in
Alabama.
Alabama, you know what I mean? Like they almost elected a kitty dealer.
Was it
down
Roy
there.
Moore?
Yeah.
Pardon
like,
if I misrepresent
like
who it was. Was it Roy Moore?
Yeah. What do they denounce?
I mean, you know, I can't even speak on none of that, brother. I think that's really sad. I think it's fucked up that, you know what I mean, that anyone in a position of power would do something like that. Or anybody, period, right?
That's what religion is, though. It's a position of power. Like, if you can position yourself as a prominent figure within religion, you get a pass on a lot of shit,
because the fundamentals,
300 people,
the fundamentals, at least of Abrahamic religion, is not to question. You know what I mean, like that is it's so. You know what I mean, like questioning God.
Well, that's what worship is.
Sin.
That's what worship is. Like, I was at a funeral for a dear friend and fraternity brother of mine, and it rubbed me the wrong way because as we're sitting in here, they're talking about worshiping God. And like, worship to me, reverence is one thing. Appreciation is one thing. Worship like removes any question of wrongdoing. Like, is that how it should be? Like, and to tell me that I gotta worship somebody and remove my ability, my quote unquote God-given ability to rationalize. You remove that. Like, no, you can't rationalize this shit. Like, I made it so that you have to worship me, and I made this. The life is not about what you can accomplish and what you do. It's about how well can you represent your worship of me. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a good person. Do you attribute that to me?
It's
like,
also
crazy to me now.
It's extremely hypocritical because it says, "Do not question." You know what I mean? Even though I'm going to question every absolute aspect of your life.
Everything you do.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like you applying for a mortgage every motherfucking day.
Every motherfucking day.
We looking at your bank statements. We want to know where this deposit came from. Like, mortgages are religious.
Yeah, I mean, so you're going to question everything. It also says, yeah, I mean, like, again, you're looking at the Western Abrahamic. You know what I mean, like, you know, idol worship is a sin, but again, you should worship me,
right?
Not anybody else.
You never met me,
not anybody else.
You never met me.
Don't question anything.
I was kind of flesh, but I'm not.
Yeah, like don't worry about it. I know you ain't.
I was conceived, but not in the traditional sense. Like,
don't question the shit.
There was someone before me, but I'm like the greatest being. Like,
if a motherfucker presents you with another story, don't take that shit because
can't explain space and not. But Ed gets ostracized, but not believing in it. But it's not in my doctrine. Like, it's just weird, yo.
Yeah, it's quite a lot of
so.
questions.
I mean, it's if you look at psychology and like, I mean, it's brainwashing.
Religion
I mean,
doesn't match up with any of our sciences.
Exactly. That's why they're at odds, and that's what, like, you know, I guess I would say religion is art to an extreme, whereas like science and art are kind of co-blended, and there are things where like sometimes science can't explain things. Art, like, we express ourselves. There's that, like, you know, I don't know, but this is what I feel. Like, I mean, sometimes that feeling, that thirst for knowledge or whatever, you put that in the world, and then people figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Science comes in there. Where religion, you're just putting out a feeling, but you're not trying to delve deep into that and like actually put any, you know, and again, it's the exact opposite. Whereas the scientific model is question everything, religion is question nothing.
And so let's do this. Let's do this for our listeners. Who this is real shit. So for our listeners, because that's this shit is real. Because life is a journey, right?
Yeah,
life is a whole fucking journey. You know what I'm saying? So
we over here drinking sour Henny.
I personally, it's a journey, and I feel like you should be able to anything that I'm gonna worship, anything that I'm going to invest in. I gotta be able to question that shit to a certain degree. So let's do this. Let's set an expectation. One day we will convene and have this whole, because that's a whole podcast within itself. Yeah. And Buzzy's been walking around. He's like, y'all motherfuckers add mad work to my night, but he don't have to edit a lot of this shit. But yeah, man, let's reconvene. I mean, I love, like, we started off with the 5% angle. That's something that I really want to dive more into, because there are a lot of prominent figures that I've heard. Like, is Jay-Z in 5% or not? Like, you don't have to answer that. Like, you know what I mean? Because I kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, Lord Jamar, I've been listening to him for a while. I fucks with him, but this is definitely like, that's a 2-hour podcast within itself. Yeah. But you know, what we wanted to get from this, to take away from this, is invest in people, because, you know, you can meet a Knowledge Hudson who has his wealth of knowledge, is not just his name, who can take you down roads and make you look into and explore things that you haven't even thought about. You know what I mean? That's like the theme of the day. You know what I mean? Because we had Tamara Whiting on with sister friend. You know what I mean? And there's a whole lot of shit that we never even thought of. Yeah. That was a whole, like, we had to cut that short because we had mad questions. You know what I mean? But and then we bring Knowledge on with the 5%. Like, get your period packs. We're gonna be sponsoring that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be available at Fresh Fest 2019. But don't hold us to it, but it will happen. You know what I mean? So, like, That's what it is, like, and that's what this podcast is, man. All we've been doing, like, y'all have been supportive of us, but it's just two dudes on a journey learning shit all the time, man. Like sitting with, like, me and my wifey gonna have a hell of a conversation tonight, man. She gonna love me after the night. I'm gonna be more sympathetic. Get your period. Like, it's gonna be crazy. So let the people know where they can find you outside of just on a random street in Pittsburgh, because you be everywhere.
Word. Definitely you can find me on Twitter and also Instagram is @KnowledgeBuild. I'm on Facebook as Knowledge Hudson, and I'm on LinkedIn as Knowledge Hudson. It might be Knowledge Build Hudson on LinkedIn.
Well, you go to LinkedIn, he know he about his business.
Yeah, I mean, and also you could find me on iTunes and Stitcher and all those other great things. It's 10 Minutes of Knowledge, and on Snapchat 10 Minutes of Knowledge. So
10 minutes ain't enough. You gotta turn that to 30 minutes.
I know, man. That's the thing. It's like 10 minutes knowledge. Like, tell your guests to shut up with all this information, because I try to bring dope people on there that has a lot that add value, a lot of value to add. You know what I mean? And we just gotta try to keep it short, between 10 and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, let the people know where they can find us.
And if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, Google Play, and
Googleable.
Spotify.
Somebody seen us. We spotted out y'all.
Under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook @PartnerSpod.
Hey, listen, we want to thank our guests, family member, as always. Welcome to the podcast. Knowledge for coming through. Look, if you've enjoyed it, man, send us some questions. Let us know, because we're going to reconvene and we're going to delve a little deeper into some things that we approached but didn't have the opportunity to really go in depth with. And as always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. We off the hen and sour. We will have that because it's the blackest thing we've ever done. And we out here.
Peace. Thanks, bro.